another one. Yes, sir. In the building. Bring you another one. How you doing today, my brother?
Yes, sir. We back. I'm doing great.
For another episode of the Salted Nest podcast. Much to discuss today. Much to discuss. I guess top of the docket is going to be the young Bronny James and his pretty scary health situation that he's been dealing with as of late. It's being kept pretty close to the vest, pretty private as it should be. I'm assuming you two were shocked to find out that Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest, otherwise known in layman's terms as a heart attack, during a USC practice, I believe it was.
Yes, it was. That is very unfortunate. Very surprising to see such a young guy, experience something like that. Not uncommon though. You know what I mean? And that's the scary part, especially within athletes. You know what I mean? No matter what sport you play, especially a very high pace, fast game like basketball. You know what I mean? Like, there are guys who suffer things, such things like athlete's heart, that could possibly be one of the underlying reasons as to why that has transpired. But, it's very unfortunate. But LeBron has released a statement saying he's good. He's doing good. He's in good spirits. So that's always good to hear, you know what I'm saying? But definitely scary. 100%.
Yeah, I think in a situation like this, the health of the athlete and even though he's 18 or whatever the case may be now, really we are dealing with and discussing a child. So the health and the athlete and the health of the athlete and the health of somebody's child, whether that's LeBron James' child or not, comes first. It is extremely scary, especially when someone is working really, really hard towards a goal. And some of this is the pressures that I guess come with being the son of LeBron James, but not really in my opinion, because this is kind of a medical thing that can happen to anybody. And there's a lot of kids around the country who are working really hard to be a basketball player. Right. But in a sense, this was kind of vaulted on him. We kind of were all just waiting to see whether or not he makes the NBA, and never for a moment, as we never want to do, because you don't want to think about this part of sports. It's real scary. It's nothing this guy can do about this, right? So something like this could take his basketball career away from him before it truly begins. Blossoms, yeah. And you never want to see that. I think me specifically, like, I'm really finicky about this type of stuff. Like, I think I'm just squeamish. So when I see this type of stuff, like, I get weird watching people play anyway. Like Damar Hamlin, it freaks me out that he's going to suit up. Jeff Green, after his whole little heart thing, I was worried about him for a while.
Yeah. And I think there's certain restrictions that Jeff Green has to put himself through, or like it's like made by the doctors or whatever, as far as his his heart situation, as far as flights, when he can fly, when he cannot fly, where and when. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you don't want to mess with that type of stuff. And listen, I'm a staunch believer in science and medicine or whatever. So if doctors clear him to play, then I'm gonna roll with whatever doctors are saying.
Especially whatever doctors that they have access to.
Yeah,
they have access to some of the highest forms of medicine. So it's like these specialists that are being hired by these multi-million-dollar teams. You know what I mean? Like that, I would feel a little bit more comfortable for them to tell me, yeah, you can definitely go out there, especially the way the game is now. You know what I mean? The way sports are now, it's not so much like, let's just rush this guy out there, even though, there are flashes of that still, you know what I mean? But it's definitely a more player-friendly league. The NBA is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Where it's like the players are putting themselves first as far as health-wise above all. So hopefully that's just, the route that they kind of take with Bronny.
And I'm personally, honestly, it speaks to having options, and it speaks to kind of just being ready for anything life throws at you, and being in the right place and being positioned in the right way, through the gift of who he is and the attention that he demands and even just the opportunities that'll be afforded to him, right? He was born to wealthy parents, and you would imagine that they're going to do the best for him and put him in the best positions to win and use all their connects and all the resources they have to do that. So the beauty of it is that whether or not he continues to play basketball, the same rules apply to whether he didn't make the NBA or not. This is a kid that has options, that doesn't have to work a day in his life, but is going to at least have the luxury to be able to pursue anything he wants to pursue, to its furthest end. Yeah. And I do think the beauty of this, no matter what, right, if we're attempting to find a silver lining and find a light in the darkness, is that as long as he has his health, other than this, whether or not he can play basketball or not, Bronny James is going to be fine. And I think that right now the most important thing is he's healthy. Yeah. Whether or not he ever plays basketball or not, I think is like marginal compared to whether or not he ever draws breath again. Yeah. So shout out to Bronny James.
Keep going, King.
Respect. We won't even discuss any of the toxic discourse. We won't even give it legs.
Never, brother. Come back stronger than ever. You know what I'm saying? Take care of yourself first and foremost. Probably take this time to just stay away from basketball. You know, enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Stay close to all your friends and family. And then just come back stronger than ever, man. Drown out all that negativity. Drown it all out, bro. It's not needed. All those people who got something negative out of this very tragic event. Shit. I was going to say something real rude, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it to myself.
Yeah, we're not worried about people that don't, because we know how this internet, I'm telling you, I think athletes are this last wholesome bastion of it, where we don't necessarily question it. We don't necessarily, because we kind of figure it comes with the territory. And I'm not one to, number one, I try my best not to really participate in celebrity culture. We do a basketball podcast that is about sports, and therefore we do talk about the figures of the game, whether we admire them for their contributions to the game or whatever have you. But I always try to keep this type of discourse to a rational level. And the difficulty is it's so rarely there. Whether you want to go to the LeBron versus Michael Jordan versus Kobe or whatever, whether you want to go here or there, the level of vitriol that we see, or even just the level of worship that we see when it's on the opposite end directed towards these players, and really what ends up being a fallout that affects everyone close to them, is it becomes ridiculous, right? Where now this is another moment for people to funnel whatever negative issues or mental illness that they're dealing with, or just being susceptible to poor messaging. Now they're going to funnel this through the new famous person that's going through something, which is Bronny James, and by proxy LeBron James. And it's just sad that everything that it's to be expected, but I know that it probably is rough, even for somebody like him who spent the majority of his life in the public eye as a child, to deal with some of this stuff. But quite honestly, the level of ridiculousness that he's put up with and dealt with and just seen online, I'm sure, and the level of media coaching that I'm sure that he's received, especially given that his father's LeBron James, a polarizing lightning rod for discussion, unfair and fair, that I don't expect this to significantly fuck his shit up or even fuck with him mentally too much, because I do think in many ways he's probably built for this, but it just sucks. It just sucks. One of the prices you pay for fame, so they say, where, you know, you can't really go through things in private, or you can't really have things mean what they mean to you, right? They have to mean what they mean to the world.
Yeah.
You know, and I support being critical and critical thinking in every area. I just wish we wouldn't waste so much of it on regular people who we deem as different than us.
I mean, like you said, it comes with the fame. People are so opinionated, especially today, man. Today's day and age, people are so opinionated, and with social media, everybody, I guess, in a way, believes that they deserve a voice that needs to be heard. You know what I mean? And they'll say and do whatever it takes to be heard.
Yeah, we lose sight of humanity. And again, such is the nature of entertainment, and we could talk all day about that. It's probably for the PYO podcast if we really get deep into it, but it's just difficult to see the way. And sometimes I wonder if it's just the internet, right? Just like I always talk about how sports debate television, I think, has decayed and rotted sports discussion. I feel like perhaps the internet is just not a great medium. And this is coming from somebody who I've been lost in the internet sauce and just been a disgusting person online. I don't know, man. It's just, it's a,
I don't know. I think I like sports debate television.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, but it's not all bullshit. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a lot of bullshit, but
it's not all bullshit. Like some of the arguments that they are having are more or less irrelevant. But when you're talking about, you know, how good a player is to a team, the value of a player, you know what I mean? Who, like, the mishaps that may have happened during a specific game, you know, how a player has dropped the ball on something.
Sure, but I think they touch on those things.
Back up with stats, you know.
But I think they touch on those things in really selective ways. They also, like, they frame their arguments, right? They go into the show looking to have arguments, and so they frame their arguments and they got to stick to them, and it causes a lot of showmanship, which I think the most important thing for those shows is showmanship. And then when they have somebody who takes that stuff seriously or is in that area, right? Like when they have Brian Windhorst or if somebody's talking to Mark Stein or whoever the case may be,
or if Woj pulls up sometime.
If Woj pulls up, then people will like lend efficacy to it. But like, I just feel like the Jay Williams versus Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp versus Skip Bayless or whoever it's going to be later. It's
that's
just
not a thing anymore either.
Yeah.
So.
Or even like Colin Cowherd. Like, I enjoy the entertainment. These are really good entertainers, but I do think that.
And really good sports analysts.
Some of them are good sports analysts. Like I said, it really does depend. Like Stephen A. Smith is not doing high level sports analysis on that television show
anymore.
I don't know if he ever was. That show just it's not that's not what it's about.
He started off as a beat writer, right?
Yeah, he's not. So when he was a beat writer, he was a beat writer, and when he's doing the show, he's very clearly doing the show, and that's where it becomes a lot of entertainment value, which is fine. But I think that when you want to glean more of like the nuances and stuff like that, you don't really find that on sports debate television. You kind of got to dig deeper, and this is not just to like promote the medium of podcasts, but like for me, for ESPN, the real stuff that like has nutritional value ends up being like a lot of the independent podcasts that they do, right? Like, it's like, say for basketball, I might listen to the Hoop Collective, right? And listen to 4 actual writers who are really, really tuned in to the higher level analytics aspects of the game and actually trying to arrive to a truthful conclusion. Not that they can't be biased, but I just prefer that more scientific approach to the game. And I think that the sports debate television, there's a lot of jockeying going on for specific personal relationships or even just to drive entertainment value, right? Where it's like Skip Bayless at one point was a beat writer, right? We won't even get into whether or not he was good at it or whether he wasn't good at it, but like it's very clearly like performing a stick, right? Which is like damaging, I think, to people's understanding. Like the stuff that he proliferates about LeBron James and that he has proliferated about LeBron James, I think for the last 10 plus 15 years.
It doesn't make any sense.
Not only that, I think it's harmful to the game because I think people see it and people who don't understand what he's doing take his cachet as a former writer and use it to bolster some of these terrible opinions that he throws into the marketplace. Mm-hmm. And then I think when you even look at a guy like Stephen A. Smith, I think they all participate in it. He does it too, just as far as like straight out being outlandish, but I think he's more grounded. But even in say like, you'll never hear Stephen A. Smith say that Skip Bayless doesn't believe the shit that's coming out of his mouth, right? But like you and me know that Skip Bayless doesn't believe the shit that comes out of his mouth. But like it's kind of like a gravy train thing. If you work for ESPN, you're not going to say that. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't say that. If you work for FS1, you're not going to say that. You shouldn't say that. Mm-hmm. But again, like you're saying, there's a nugget of validity to it. And to me, that nugget comes when they have, again, guys like Brian Windhorst. When Brian Windhorst came on and broke down the Utah situation, and it became like this whole big meme. But then I think you get a moment where you're starting to see some of the inner mechanisms, right? Somebody who's coming and really trying to talk to you about what's going on behind the scenes, right? And
somebody who's tuned in and plugged in with these executives and players themselves.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff will let you begin to understand what really is turning the cogs. I think sports debate television kind of can muddy that and can kind of simplify and give you a lot of shallow ideas about what's going on, but there's like a lot of folds and complexities that you need to consider, different vantage points, more nuanced than I think you get from those things. So it's not to say that there's nothing good about them, just that I don't think they're particularly high nutritional value, if that makes sense.
I feel like it's really just a spark an idea. You know what I mean? Like, like yeah, there are some truths in where like I'm just arguing just for argument's sake. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like everything that they're talking about doesn't necessarily really mean anything to the sport that they're talking about. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of it is just them just saying, yo, I think LeBron is, GOAT A and Jordan is GOAT B because of, et cetera, et cetera. So,
this guy is tough and this guy is not tough.
Yeah.
Where it just becomes all right.
But
like even you're really here.
There, a lot of the talks of just like the actual game itself, though. You know what I mean? When they're talking about seeding and players who've done most improved, you know what I mean? Like MVP talks, like, yeah, a lot of it does get a little murky, when they bring up their arguments as to, whatever they're debating on, but they do bring a lot of analytical aspect to it as well. And it just sparks thought to your average viewer, you know what I mean, of said sport. So
yeah, and I think that it's then when you compound that with the hot take culture, it becomes difficult for viewers to separate which is which, and then it becomes difficult for viewers to be informed. But I don't know that the purpose of those shows is to inform viewers. I think the purpose of those shows is for entertainment. They have other shows that aren't sports debate, right? I think sports debate dominates what you see on social media and what is consumed. I think it dominates the diet of the average sports consumer. But like even like a person like me, I don't consume any of that shit. Like, I'll catch clips if they come on the internet, but I don't consume my basketball news through those type of people. But a lot of people do. On to the next. Jaylen Brown is touching a lot of money.
$300 million man.
Go ahead. This is the part, ladies and gentlemen, where you listen to a fan.
$300 million man.
I just want y'all to remember this. Remember the excitement that you're hearing right now.
Give it up for the $300 million man. Yes, sir. Give it up, give it up, give it up. What y'all talking about, man? Come on.
I don't know why you're applauding.
Well deserved, JB. Get your money, my boy. Well deserved, because this is
well deserved.
This is what I'm saying. Who else we was gonna give that money to, huh? Because according to you, we are not a high free agent destination, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't
nobody wants to come play for Boston, right?
Yeah.
We ended up signing Porzingis, who to me is, in my opinion, a really high tier 2 player who can bring some value to our team. And we gave the money to a man who deserves it. 100%.
I don't deserve it subjective, man.
I mean,
is he the best player in the NBA?
What do you mean the best?
Is he the best player in the league?
Michael Conley once upon a time had the highest contract in the NBA.
Exactly. So when we say
it's his turn, exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's his turn. Everybody gets a turn.
Nah, but even so, if
you're a really good player, right, and you are in a position to receive money from the team that drafted you, and you are performing at a very high level, we haven't won a championship, but we are making it to the dance. You know what I'm saying? Has Eastern Conference champions under his belt, All-Star appearances under his belt. Mm-hmm. Why doesn't he deserve the money?
It's not about deserve. He just happens to be here at this time. But Jaylen Brown is not a top 10 player in the NBA, so him making the most money in the NBA doesn't make
right now he does. And right
I
now,
know, but
this
you got to understand, he's making more money than LeBron. He's making more money than Jokic. He's making more money. There's a better
Okay.
player. There's a better player than him on his own team. He's making more money than.
This
like,
is
again,
the first
deserve
major,
is a very
this
subjective
is the
term.
first major
It would have been-
contract under the new CBA.
I know, but the fact that he's getting it is just like it'd have been anybody, right? Like not anybody in the league, but like
So that's
if
your
Zach
argument.
if Zach LaVine was up, it's not the argument. It's a fact. If Zach LaVine was up for this type of contract right now, he'd have got it. Like right, like it's just I get it, right? He
So
happens to
this
be
is
the
you-
butt.
So this is you just downplaying JB.
I'm not downplaying JB. He's right now makes the most in NBA history.
Yeah.
That is not. That
Well
does
deserved.
not add up. No, I mean,
Well deserved.
like I said, deserve is subjective. Does the
Well
best
deserved.
player in the NBA deserve to make the most money in the NBA?
When it's his turn to
No,
re-up that
fuck it when
contract,
it's his turn.
when it's his
Does
turn
the-
to re-up
okay,
that
fine.
contract. Yes.
Okay, but now
Yes.
aside from the when it's his turn, does the best player in the NBA deserve to be paid the most money in the NBA?
Yes.
Is
Now-
Jaylen Brown?
now,
Wait.
when
Is
that
Jaylen- but
contract comes
hold
around the
on.
time
but it's not
to
even just
re-it
that,
up,
right? Because
yes.
because like the top
Go
10,
get your money.
It's not even just that. This is why you got to bring up Mike Conley to justify this situation because sometimes it's.
I only brought that up
Hold on.
because you were
because
you started talking about this whole top 10 player in the NBA.
Yeah, because
Mike Conley was not the top wasn't
exactly.
even top 20.
So what I'm saying is the only reason you can compare the two is because sometimes a random fucking guy ends up getting paid the most in the NBA.
All right. So what's the problem here?
So it's different. It's like you're celebrating it
Listen,
because
when
but
it's
here-
Jokic's
but actually,
turn-
here's the point.
when it's
Actually,
Jokic's
here's the
or
point.
Giannis or Jimmy Butler, Kawhi,
It'll
any
be
one of these guys,
whoever's turn. But
whenever their time comes around to where
understand, but
they are supposed to sign a
even-
new contract,
say even this right now,
They'll
it's
beat this
different
contract.
when it's the best player on the team. Even like this is a situation where this isn't even the best player on the team.
so
So it's like
just propping up, just
It's
setting
just
it,
fluke. It's
setting
just-
it up nicely
it's
for
fluke.
when
But
it's
also-
JT's turn again, for when we have to
not
throw
really
the money again. At
Not really
JT.
because y'all might not be able to give Jason Tatum that kind of money, but
Why not?
not and keep them both. It might not make
do you
sense.
mean?
And this is let me finish. This is why I'm saying you're celebrating right now. This actually creates a lot of complications for your teams down the line, and becomes something that you're gonna have to now manage. You are paying Jaylen Brown more than he's worth. His trade value, I think, is damaged right now. It's gonna be very difficult to trade Jaylen Brown when it's time to trade Jaylen Brown. What he's making is going to automatically dictate that Jason Tatum has to make more than him. I think when it's time for Jason Tatum to re-up, you have to give him a bigger contract than you gave Jaylen Brown. And I don't know if Jaylen Brown's going to make it to the end of Jason Tatum's contract. This is a lot of money to dump into this player, which now means...
We have JT signed up until 2026.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know if Jaylen Brown is going to make it to the end of Jason Tatum's current contract. He might end up. Jason Tatum is not going to be the guy you guys trade.
You know what shuts all of this up?
What?
A championship.
Yeah, that's theoretical.
That's what makes all of this
but
irrelevant.
even
That's what
so,
you're talking
I don't even think it
and
does.
that's what we made the move for.
Even so, I don't
to
even
go
think it
and
does.
get a
You are
championship.
now in possession of one of the worst contracts in the NBA.
Okay. I feel like that's an opinion.
It's not.
It's not a fact.
It's not.
It's not a fact.
Was Russell Westbrook's contract
It's not a
terrible
fact.
by the end?
I mean, yeah.
When you're
Look how it panned out.
here's
Look how it panned out for
here.
them.
It's not even just
And
that. Here is
and
the.
that's a small market team.
It's not even just
That's
that.
a small market
Here
team.
is
They
what.
can't- they-
Here
they
is
are-
what makes.
In the old CBA, they couldn't sign another player next to that contract.
Doesn't matter. This CBA.
So
no.
they still
That's
can't
not
go.
even an argument. This CBA is even more difficult to do that. So it's like
All right, then. So what are we talking about right now?
you guys got put in a situation
No,
that
we
most
didn't.
NBA.
No, we
you don't
didn't.
even know what I'm saying.
No, we didn't.
You guys got put in a situation. See, and this is the fandom.
No, we didn't.
You guys got put in a situation that a lot of teams get put into. You have a guy who's really, really fucking good. Because of the fact that you drafted him and he's been really good, it forces you to pay him more than he's worth. Now this contract is only a good contract to you guys, and it's only a good contract to you guys right now. Because you're the Celtics, you don't want to admit it, but this is a situation where it's like, well, we had to give it to him. So it's like, yeah, you had to fucking give it to him, or I guess you would lose him. But also, it would have sucked because if you lost him, you'd have lost him to ego because no other team could have paid him $300 million. So he'd have just left because y'all didn't give him the $300 million. What happened to y'all is y'all got put in a situation where he had all the leverage and he signed this deal. As a matter of fact, y'all didn't rush to give him this deal. It took It took a while for y'all to get to this point. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that the Celtics were not in a rush to pay him $304 million?
Championship loading. First
Understood.
of all.
But wait, why do you think the
Second of
Celtics
all-
were not in a rush to pay him $304 million?
Championship loading, first of all.
Uh-huh.
Second of all, we have to make all of our free agent signings first.
No.
Yeah, we made all of our free agent signings.
If you were gonna,
we
if
went and
with
got
a guy
O'Shea
like
Brissett,
him,
we went and got O'Shea Brissett from
yeah,
from
but
the Pacers.
that's not
we got
why.
Porzingis,
But you still
feel
paid
what I'm
him.
saying?
But you still paid him.
Yeah, and
so you could have paid him in the first place.
We paid him.
So you could have paid him in the first place.
What do you mean?
This was the contract he was asking for, no matter what.
We got to see, bro. There was a lot going
That
on
money,
in the field.
but listen,
there's a lot in the field. First.
If you were gonna,
let's see what we can make shake first.
You can't say that if you
And
still.
then
You can't
we
say
paid
that if
him
you
his
still
money.
gave him the max.
What are you
Because you were
talking
going to
about?
give him this anyway.
Our
The
roster is set right now.
I can tell. If you want to know why Celtics brass
Our
did not want to
roster
give him
is
this,
set right
but
now.
do you really want to know why you guys were not in a rush to give him this contract? It's not an opinion.
It is an opinion.
It's not.
Because you don't know for a
It's
fact.
not.
Whatever you're
It's
about
not.
to say is not a fact.
So let me ask you this: in a situation like this, two sides, when you're negotiating to come to agreement, what is the point of negotiating? To get to a point that is more satisfactory to one side, right?
To both parties.
To either party, right?
To both
With
parties.
players like LeBron, do you see this happen? No. With players like Jokic, do you see this happen?
Okay.
No. With players like Jason Tatum, do you see this happen? No. Why? Because the team understands and recognizes, boom, you have to get this max right now. This is your value. Period.
Okay.
That was not the case with Jaylen Brown.
That's not the case.
Can we get this lower? Yo, but we want to do this. But yo, you know why? Because that's not his actual value. Again, that's the value he was able to command. And like you said before, celebrate that man, right? But what happened just now is y'all just were forced to massively overpay for a player. Now, that's fine. You like the player.
Championship loading.
Fair. It has to, though.
Championship loading.
It has to.
Championship
right?
loading.
But what we
That
can't-
makes everything you're saying very
but
irrelevant.
even it doesn't.
Yes,
even,
it does.
Even when we
yes, it
first
does,
of all,
because that's what we're making the move.
you haven't
for.
won a championship.
Oh, right.
So
championship loading.
You've been
right
saying
now.
that every year forever.
Championship
You've
loading.
been saying that every
Championship
year
loading.
forever.
And we've been getting closer and closer. Last year,
No, y'all have not.
Wait, hold on. Last year was our first. Last year was our first step back. Every single year since both JT and JB got drafted, we got closer and closer to the goal. Last year was our first step back in that goal, and that's fine.
Bro, no, it's not.
That's fine.
No, it's not. Y'all had went to the conference finals against LeBron, I think, one time, and then didn't go back to the conference finals for a while. Like y'all have been exactly who y'all have been for the last couple of years. A good team, a really good team.
Okay.
But I don't like. What do you want? Like
Championship loading, bro.
You've been a really good team.
Championship
Again,
loading.
And just to touch on what makes a contract a bad contract. When I say a bad contract, I'm not shitting on the player. Bradley Beal has one of the worst contracts in the NBA, and he's phenomenal. Jaylen Brown has one of the worst contracts in the NBA, and he's really good. He's like these are phenomenal players. These are really good players. Being the value of that kind of max, and this is why the max was created to kind of solve the issue of players moving around and give teams kind of a leverage to hold on to these players, but it's backfired in this massive way where teams are forced to give certain players the max because of the fact that it's on the table. And when it's on the table, ain't no negotiating for that player as far as like, yo, y'all can give me this. I'm here. I put my time in. I want to do this. I want this money.
And what's the overall purpose of signing and of offering these max contracts to these players? To win championships.
Yeah, but again,
right?
Sometimes a player who is not on his face deserving of a straight up max. Like, Jaylen Brown is not LeBron James. He's not Jason Tatum. He's not. These are the guys who are worth that max.
Imagine the following maxes after this. He's just another stepping stone, man.
No, but it's not.
He's a stepping stone into more money.
What I'm trying to explain to you is
he's
there's
a stepping
difference.
stone into higher contracts that we will see.
But what I'm trying to explain to you is sometimes a team gets left holding the bomb. Y'all got left holding the bomb.
I guess.
When the next player is Anthony Davis, or when the next player is Giannis, or when the next player is Jason Tatum, for instance, that is perfectly understandable. But sometimes a team is left having paid Michael Conley the most in the league, or a team is left having paid Jaylen Brown the most in the league. And again, I get it. You like, yo, if we win a championship, I gotta be hopeful. I know. But you're now holding on to one of the worst contracts in the NBA, and you need to win now. Before
it becomes a great contract.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
When we win,
no, it doesn't.
becomes a great
contract.
contract.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
No. It still hamstrings you in all the same ways. If you win, that gives you a great return on investment.
Yes.
For that contract.
Yes.
It does not make it a good contract.
Yes, it does.
You just think it's worth.
Yes, it does.
But also, what you're saying right now
It's
is
worth
if you
the money.
No.
Because what are we gonna do with that money? Go pay somebody else to lose?
No, not that. First of all, it's not. It doesn't have to be a one-on-one thing, right? Some might argue that for that money, first of all, if you do end up having to trade him, you bet your sweet ass, you better hope you can get 3 or 4 really good players out of that. And maybe some draft picks, but it doesn't seem like y'all in the mood for draft picks. It doesn't seem like you want draft picks out of this. But the problem is what you're saying is
have a full slate of them.
What you're saying is if you win a championship at any point during these next 5 years, 4 of those years could be hot garbage and pure fuckery with the contract, and that makes it worth it. So when you say a championship makes it a great contract,
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you are. Because you're saying a championship makes all of it worth it.
Yeah,
anything you go through now, a championship,
like with the parentheses S on the end of it. No. Yes.
First of all,
that makes it all the worth. All the while.
This is phenomenal.
Yes.
Now let's get into the fact that this didn't even make your team significantly better. You just coughed up a $304 million contract, and your team is not even significantly better. So now let's talk about what the next step is to win a championship.
Better.
How are you? How are you significantly better? I hope the God Porzingis works out for you, because I think Porzingis is I think he fits really well into what you guys are trying to do with having rim protectors who can space the floor in some kind of way.
Unicorn.
But that doesn't
shooting.
That doesn't make y'all significantly better.
We're a tall team. Come on, bro.
What do you mean?
Bro. Come on, bro.
Come on, bro. What?
Come on, bro.
Come on, bro. What?
Championship loading. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, but when?
Championship loading.
What is different? What is different? What is significantly different?
The unicorn. That's what I
The unicorn
said.
What?
The unicorn.
What will he do?
Arrived.
Okay, but what will he do?
Arrived, brother.
Listen.
What do you mean?
Y'all gonna start Derek White?
Oh yeah, we are.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm actually quite excited about that.
How are y'all gonna solve?
Very much so.
How are y'all gonna solve having to rely way too much on Jaylen Brown handling the ball? Now that he's $304 million man.
What are you talking about?
How do y'all fix that?
What are you talking about?
How do y'all fix that y'all rely way too much on the ball being in Jaylen Brown's hands in the first place?
We didn't before.
On the ball shot creation.
Why would we do it now?
You didn't what?
We didn't do that before, so why
would
we do that now?
You absolutely do.
No, we don't.
And second of all,
we don't actually. We run a lot of the plays through our guards who
he's not dribbling the ball off his foot without the ball in his hands.
He's dribbling a lot when he's trying to create a shot for himself.
But you rely on him to create shots on his own too much.
Right.
How will y'all solve that?
Get Porzingis involved more. Yes. I don't know. What's the joke? What's the joke? Get Porzingis involved more. Get Porzingis involved more.
So the answer is to throw some of his isolation plays to Porzingis? You just paid him $304 million. Who's going to explain to him that? Who's going to explain that to him?
What are you talking about right now?
Who's going to explain to the highest paid player on the team that you want to give away some of his isolation possessions to Porzingis?
When it's needed? Yes.
First of all, wait.
When the offense gets very stale like it has, yes. Why the fuck not? If something is not working, then yes.
Porzingis is not a shot creator.
What are we talking about right now?
He's not a shot creator.
And why would it be isolation possessions to Porzingis? I'm talking about running plays through Porzingis. Getting some shots that he's comfortable
one of
in.
Jaylen Brown's jobs is to score, right?
Yeah,
and at least 50+% of those. But at least
that is something that he's going to continue doing.
All right, but a lot of his scoring is coming from a place where it shouldn't, where he has on the ball shot creation.
Once again,
is that a weakness if it's or not?
Slight weakness.
Slight weakness.
Slight weakness.
So I just want to know why y'all refuse to put some more ball handling on the team since y'all. But I mean, it must be tough to do that when you gotta pay Jaylen Brown like Michael Jordan.
Handlers.
Huh?
We have ball handlers.
No, I mean like guys to really work niggas in their shit like on a high level. Like, you know what I'm saying? High level creators for themselves.
Oh, you mean just like a bucket getter, like certified go and get a bucket.
Even high level
creating.
That's what you mean? No, even high level creating for others. High level creating for others maybe would be nice on this team that doesn't have that at all.
Been seeing a whole lot of flashes out of JT for that.
Yeah, but I mean, he can't be your primary creator for others.
JT is that guy.
Yeah, but he can't be
JT is that guy.
He can't be the primary creator for others.
Why not?
Because he can't. He's not versatile enough at it.
Why not? He's been getting better at it.
Yeah, he's impressive at it. But
this season he's I said this season. This past season, he's done a lot better in getting everybody else.
Sure. But he should not be the person on the team for whom that's their prime responsibility.
Why not?
Because he's not good enough at it.
I mean, hey.
He's good for his role and the position he plays.
You don't think he's good enough at it?
What do you mean?
You don't think that he's good enough?
So he's a point guard?
He's not a point guard.
All right, he's not good. So what are we talking about?
He can play possessions.
He's an above average playmaker for his position.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. They need a really, really good on the ball playmaker for others, or just somebody who's really, really good at running offense. I don't.
Okay.
We have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are not those guys.
We have a plethora of of players that do what you just said.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
this has been a weakness in your team for years. What are you talking about?
Okay.
So who was it before? It was Marcus Smart. Who the no matter of fact?
I know you couldn't.
Not even that.
I know he couldn't wait. I was just waiting.
Who the plethora?
I know he couldn't wait to say the man's name who's not even on the team.
Who the plethora of players y'all have that can create at a high fucking level for others?
You've been saying two of their names this whole entire time right now.
Who?
They're both the Jays. What are we talking about?
No.
Yes.
Now we're telling lies.
Yes.
Jaylen Brown does not create for others at a high level, bro.
Derek White
does not create for others at a high level.
What are we talking about?
He's solid, but come on, bro.
All right, bro.
All right, what? I'm talking about. You're talking about
a bunch of opinions. So all I can say
wait. These are not opinions though.
Post contract,
these are not opinions though.
I just want to see what's going to go on post biggest contract in the NBA.
But here, I'm gonna tell you, these are not opinions. Y'all don't have anybody who's as good as playmaker for others as even a guy like LaMelo Ball, as Tyrese Halliburton, as LeBron James, as Jokic, as even like say a Jamal Murray. Like the part that's not an opinion is that you guys don't have an elite or just under the surface of elite level playmaker for others on that team. And on a team where the two best players on it are play finishers, it's strange to me that that's a problem that hasn't been solved. It's been attempted to have been solved. Kyrie was an attempt. Kemba Walker was an attempt. But it's just strange to me that, not to say that I wouldn't have paid Jaylen Brown that money. I think y'all were caught between a rock and a hard place. I don't know what's the, like I said, sometimes you left holding the bag
every day till Sunday.
Cause you like him and you're a Celtics fan. But like, it's like
he deserves the money.
No,
so
it's a terrible contract.
I don't know what we're talking about.
It's a terrible contract.
Like, I don't even want to say how we're still on this topic because.
But you can say anybody deserves the money.
Okay,
but like, you're paying $304 million.
Okay,
for a guy who's just really good.
All right.
That's crazy. This guy might not make the Hall of Fame. But you paying this nigga $304 million. This nigga don't have his own shoe. I'm sorry. My fault. This nigga don't have a shoe.
I've never heard of having your own shoe as being one of the criteria of having a good contract in the NBA. I've never heard of that.
Usually,
my first
niggas
time.
that get paid the most in the NBA be having a shoe. That's all I'ma say.
Okay.
Can you listen?
All right. I've never heard of the Mike Conleys.
Exactly. And that's why you gotta keep comparing this contract to Mike Conley. I've never heard of the Mike Conleys. Because this contract makes as much sense as Mike Conley's. I mean, I fucking guess. I guess you had to give it to him. Because you know what's crazy? You don't like Rudy Gobert contract.
Oh my God. Fucking hate it.
But what you mean? It was his turn.
Fucking hate it.
It was his turn.
But I hate it because I don't think that he's that good of a player.
You don't think Jaylen Brown is the best player in the league? He's getting paid like it?
I didn't say anything about being the best player in the league. Okay. I said I do not think that Gobert is good in general. No, I genuinely think that Gobert is.
So they just giving out defensive player of the years? Because let's talk about that. Because Marcus Smart then.
Oh man!
No! Keep going where you going. Man. Keep going where you going,
Listen,
bro.
You give Marcus Smart that height. You put Marcus Smart, same player, same style of play, all that
Can't
with
be the
that
same
height.
Style of play in the same
exactly,
because he'll be 7 feet.
Exactly. And that's why he got Defensive Player of the Year, because he's fucking 8 feet tall, and I guess he's a fucking rim stopper.
You want to know why the Stifle?
I guess.
You want to know the Stifle Tower got it?
Stifle Tower.
The Stifle Tower got Defensive Player of the Year because he made it real fucking difficult for teams to score at all for years on end. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many of them shits he has. He's doing like Kanye pissing on him.
He's terrible offensively.
Okay, but Jaylen Brown had least some things to be desired offensively too. He still got his bag. Like I don't understand. Like it's his turn,
right? And that's my whole point about everything. It's his fucking turn to get his money.
How many times?
Right scenario, right situation. He got drafted by the team who has his bird rights, who can pay him this bread. Yes. You're telling me that he doesn't deserve it?
I want y'all to pay attention.
He's a really, really good player, according to you, right?
Hold on, wait.
So
this is how the conversation goes when two people really believe what they're talking about. By the way, we are far better than sports debate. Because someone somewhere is like, I thought they didn't like sports debate. It's been like 15 minutes of sports debate. Yeah, dickhead. This is organic, and we actually believe in what we're talking about. So at the end of the day, go fuck yourself. But we will next episode. I think we should make a commitment to actually break down and look into some of Jaylen Brown's numbers next to guys in his role, and look at what he kind of provides on that level. But to continue where we were at, I admit Jaylen Brown is really good. Sure. He's getting paid like the best. He's getting paid like the best. Am I wrong about that?
Right now, yes, he is.
You talking about some right now?
Right now,
bro.
Yes, he is. Right now, yes, he is,
bro.
Yo, he's
getting paid so much.
People one up each other's contracts every day.
But
we'll be all right.
He's getting paid so much.
We'll be okay.
He's getting paid so much that it's going to be a little while.
Okay,
that's what's crazy. It's like It's good. You know why? Because the next team is not going to pay their Jaylen Brown level player this back. They'll just lose him. But that leaves an interesting question.
Not unless
so
we
to
get championships.
So to you would not have stuck by your Celtics.
We get championships.
Fair, but you would not. All right. So matter of fact, before I ask you the second question, let me ask you a first question based on what you just said. And I'm not attacking you at all. I'm not trying to catch you in a gotcha moment. I really am curious because you know me. I'm a fan of the Nets, but I'm a whore. I see this league from every angle because my team been trashed for so long. I don't have no special attachment. You know what I'm saying? Like, so number one, you truly do believe that you don't have many more things to figure out before you're championship ready. That this puts you in a position, locking him in is a commitment towards winning in the future.
I mean, I've always said ever since we lost Kyrie and Kemba wasn't Charlotte Kemba, I've always thought that we needed a true one. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody that we can pair together with who used to be on our team, Marcus Smart. But yeah, like I've always thought that we needed a really, really good guard on the team. And that's something that we've been lacking. You know what I mean? Like all the time. And I've also, like, especially like way back, I would say like during the Paul Pierce era, we've definitely lacked a really, really serviceable big man back in the day. But you know, with the acquisition of, guys like Al Horford and, you know what I mean, the drafting of Robert Williams, shit like that, I think we're pretty solid in that regard. Especially the signing of Porzingis, who is not a 5 or a 5, but like he's tall. You know what I'm saying? He adds a lot of height to our team. You know what I mean? And with height comes defense. Especially when you're able to move your feet. So yeah, I do think that we need a solid one, but I think the group effort with Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, I'm even excited to see what Peyton Pritchard got coming to the table as well, because now that Marcus Smart is out of there, we have more minutes opening up for another guard. So I'm excited to see what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? But with the team that we have right now,
a guy that's worth starting. But okay,
you said what?
Yeah, I might want to give some of those minutes to a guy that could start on most teams in this league. But cycling it between a bunch of guys who can't, I guess, is one way to do it.
So you don't think Derek White is going to be a solid?
I don't think he could start on half or more of the teams in this league. No, I don't. I think if Derek White is your starting point guard, you really wish you could upgrade at the point guard spot.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single team in this league that is like, Derek White, done.
Yeah. Not even us. But that's what we have right now. That's what we got right now. And it's not like we had much of an option at that position. You know what I'm saying? As far as bringing another guard in, there wasn't that much in the field for us to try and acquire. So, you know what I mean? And it stings that we had to let Marcus Smart go in the process of that. You know what I mean? We lose a really big locker room guy and our energy piece. You know what I mean? Like he brings all of that defensive toughness, all of the hustle plays. Like he's that glue guy for us, and we definitely lost that. So
well, also, yeah, I mean, y'all do have a bunch of really good defenders. So it's like I'm curious to see how.
Yeah, but he kickstarted a lot of our runs.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like he was the jump starter. He was the jump starter of a lot of the energy. Like especially like when shit was going dry, even in this last playoff run. You know what I mean? When shit was just looking stale, he was the guy to kind of get us going again with a lot of his defensive effort and just hustle plays and shit. So that will definitely be missed. But I'm still very confident. I'm very, very confident where we are right now, and I think. Yeah, we will be back in the dance. We will be back.
So my second question is, had the Celtics decided that, listen, we can't pay you this much money, and decided to work out some type of a sign and trade where they gave him the money and then immediately traded him for things that they thought were valuable, or even lost him in free agency, which I think because of the uncertainty of the market and how fickle free agents are about going to Boston, I think maybe the better idea would have been to try to work out some sort of sign and trade if you were going to do it, where he still gets to get paid, and technically you still broke him off with that bag, but you didn't actually have to pay him any of it. Because I guess my question is, if you guys would have went in that direction, would you have supported the team in that?
I mean, I have no choice. It's my favorite team. It's the team that I like to watch. I like to enjoy watching them play. So I would have no choice at that point. But I would just hope, at that point, that we get something back for our buck. You know what I mean? Like, I would have hoped that could have made a big push into the whole Dame sweepstakes. You know what I'm saying? Or, I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea. I haven't really put any true thought into who else we can put there, because I truly believe that we were going to keep him. Mm-hmm. And we did. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and I was mainly going off of the press conference Brad Stevens had, to where he kind of doubled down on the whole idea of the Celtics, staying in the direction of keeping both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum together. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously you can't really take, lean too far into what these executives say, because, Brad Stevens is an executive now, and it is all just a business at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely believe that we weren't ready to jump ship yet. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, I do think that there's a time limit on this contract. You know what I'm saying? And within the next year or two, if we don't at least make it to the dance, lose again, sure, why not? But if we don't at least make it to the dance this next year, and let's say we get bounced out first round or something, yeah, it's looking like, we're shopping that contract as best as we could. You know what I mean? So only time will tell.
How old is Jaylen Brown?
I believe, like 26, if I had to guess.
26.
26.
And this contract could be 31. So it's not like this contract will end at like 35. So the potential for him to still be on this team is very real. We'll see.
It all depends on our success. Because like I said, us winning a championship really makes the whole argument of whether he deserves that money or just how good the contract is. That makes it that whole thing irrelevant, because at the end of the day, teams are signing high level players all for one thing, one goal, and that is to win an NBA championship. It's not, oh, we're trying to sign this player to have the best record, to have the best signage in NBA history. Yeah, that's all cool and that's all nice and everything, but they're doing it for one reason, and that's to win.
Well, sometimes it's also to be, listen, winning is very difficult, right? Like, being extremely competitive is nothing to sneeze at. And if Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum never win, but they're extremely competitive and come close a few times, I'm not the type of person that's going to say that that's not success. I'm going to say that's a successful period in history.
Right, but that's looking at it half full. How I look at it as well. You know what I mean? Like, we share that view. But in all reality, bro, no matter how we look at it, it is all for one goal. These guys are playing to win. None of them are just, you know what I mean? Nobody's lacing this shit up every single day to just be out there. You know what I mean? Just for shits and gigs. Yes, get your money. You know, if you can, if you are that caliber of player, or even if tier 2, tier 3 type of player, get your bag. Whatever your bag is, get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, these guys are doing it for one goal, and that is to win. The executives, same shit. They're trying to put the best team together to win. And if that means to sign a man who you don't think is top 10 in the league, $300 million, then so fucking be it. We are clearly standing 10 toes on keeping the Jays together and going to go get this motherfucking dub. And I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it. You're asking me if I'm here for it? I am here for it. I'm ready to die with that contract right here at my fucking feet. Don't care. Don't care. I'm here for it, brother. I'm here for it, Jake. Yeah,
we got to get Mikal Bridges out of town because they're going to want to pay that nigga $300 million next.
Y'all just gave him his bread, though, so he going to have to wait. Yeah. For him to ever see any type of bread like that, he's going to have to wait 3-4 years down the line now.
Hopefully we don't.
So exactly. So hopefully you don't even got to worry about that.
They giving Jaylen Brown's going for $300 million right now, and he looking real Jaylen Brown.
And I'm trying to tell you,
Jaylen Brown.
It's a good thing that you even said Mikal Bridges, right? Let's say 4 years down the line, it's time for his contract. You think Jaylen Brown is still going to? You think Jaylen Brown is still going to be the top paid player by that time? No,
I got to see.
No, he won't. He won't be.
We'll know.
He won't be.
We could actually do the math now. It just really depends on when the next time. No other team is handcuffed to a player like y'all were handcuffed to Jaylen Brown right now. So you can't worry about that. Like, even say like a guy like Mikal Bridges, the specific set, he's already off the team that drafted him. Like, the specific set of circumstances, like I said, every now and again, a player just becomes a player like Jaylen Brown, like Michael Conley, just becomes the beneficiary of some really, really great timing, right? Honestly, the next time a guy gets paid like this is probably going to be one of the big guys. So we could probably look at at all the top 10 guys and their contracts and just look at when it ends and be like, okay, yeah, this guy's going to be the next one. And that's maybe in 2 years. Maybe that's in 3 years. I don't know if there's any big guys who are up next year. Mm-hmm. That could command that kind of money. Because then again, a lot of the big guys are old. They're not going to get 5 years, whatever. Like James Harden's not going to get that.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. Jaylen Brown might hold this spot for like 2-3 years. He might. And
shit, John Moran. Oh,
he just signed.
Could be. Oh, he did?
Yeah, he just signed.
Okay.
A big ass deal like last year. So
then, yeah. Shit, Jaylen Brown, he might be the recipient of that shit for the next 3-4 years then.
He might have it for at least maybe 2. I think at least 2 he'll have it. Because I don't foresee next year somebody topping it. But because, like I said, no team is really handcuffed to a guy. Like, this was the complicated situation where a team was going to have to give this nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just the next situation, and that's what happened to be him. And when it's a guy like him, it's a little tough to understand. But, hey, speaking of Damian Lillard, I know we haven't spoken to him in like 3 minutes, but we did mention him, right? Speaking of Damian Lillard, the league stepped in and told Damian Lillard stop all that nasty shit, man.
Yeah. Had to tell him.
League stepped in and told Damian Lillard,
yo, y'all are being very disgusting.
Stop all that freak nasty shit.
Y'all are being super disgusting.
Stop it.
Chill the fuck out.
Put up on him real smooth, like real soldierish.
Yeah.
Put up on him. Hey, are you guys saying that you won't play for any other teams besides Miami?
Yeah.
No, you didn't say that.
Yeah.
Hey, are you guys calling teams and telling them not to bother trading because you won't? No. Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. Thanks, Adam.
Craziest part about all of this, right? It doesn't even matter at this point. Telling them to just chill out with saying that doesn't matter because it was said. The deed is done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the message has been relayed to the entire league. Like, yo, if you put money and time and effort into acquiring this man, you are most likely, good 90% chance, you are not going to receive
Well, the problem about him too is
any type of return on investment.
the problem with him too is, number one, they're lying, right? Because the way Damian Lillard and his agent have been talking, you would think he's on like a 1-year deal.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he's locked up until like 2026 or some shit like that. Like, Damian Lillard is locked the fuck up. So what are you really saying, my boy? Are you saying that you won't honor the terms of your contract? Are you telling me that if we say Boston, you're telling me I'm going to trade for you, I'm expected to honor this contract I picked up and cut you this check, but you won't play? Or you won't play hard? What are we doing? This is a job. This is a workplace. Contract. What are we doing? On some level, these niggas be wildin', right? When it comes to,
I agree.
I love the leverage play. I love using your leverage as you have it, but I totally understand the league having to step in and be like, wait a fucking minute.
This is outrageous.
This is unfair.
Yeah.
This is unfair to the owners of the teams, the executives that try to run these teams or whatever. Like, you not being happy.
Even the other players, because not anybody can just be like, yo, I'm not happy coming there, so I'm not gonna give you my all.
Yeah.
Like, what? What do you mean?
Like, I feel like in some capacity, if the league wanted to really make this ugly, they could probably sue a player for not upholding the terms of the contract, no?
Up until I'm assuming that's up until that player starts to not uphold his side of the contract.
But
so if the season was to roll around and Dame doesn't show up for mandatory camp,
you could feasibly, if the NBA wanted to be ugly about it, you could feasibly be taking the court.
He's not coming to games. He's not coming to practice, like mandatory practices, like, yeah, 100%.
Because we've seen
100%.
players go after their money in the inverse. Like, we've seen Ben Simmons go after the money that he felt like Philadelphia still should have paid him based on whatever. And I don't even remember whether he got it or not. But the point of the matter is, I think if the team tried to not pay him, he would try to take legal action.
Yeah.
So you're not playing when we have you under contract for years. It's crazy. Because you'd rather be in Miami? Nigga, I'd rather be in Miami.
But
like, what the fuck does that mean?
This goes back to what I was saying before when I was telling you that Portland seems pretty like dead set on, like, we're not rushing on giving him up. Yeah, he's on the trade block, but we're not trying to just accept anything. Yeah, he may have a little leverage. Mm-hmm. That's cool. But we'll fuck around and keep him. Him and Scoot gonna be right over here in Portland playing the fuck together.
And all this shit backfires on you, where I keep saying with Damian Lillard, nobody feels bad for you because you was talking a lot of shit. A lot of shit where it's like, if you wasn't who you were, a motherfucker could be like, damn, he the one. They on him crazy. He gonna be the example. That sucks. Because Dame put in so much time. And you know what I'm saying? Other niggas get to go where they want to go. Why can't Dame? I would love to be able to say that about you, brother, but I can't because I'm an honorable man. And you've been talking all that shit, and so now you got to deal with your shit. And you know what?
He was honorable up until this offseason?
No, I've never been a fan of his get down.
He was loyal. He was loyal up until this offseason?
I don't think he was loyal, nigga. Listen, you have to consider everything, man. It's easy. It's the greatest thing in the world to convey it is loyalty. You got paid OD. Nobody else is going to pay you that much. Mm-hmm. Maybe. But probably not. So you know what? You re-up as much as you fucking can. And while you're doing that, you pump the whole loyalty shit. And because you salty...
You pump the whole loyalty shit?
Nah, and because you salty when other niggas risk the bag, right? And have to take shorter term deals to get their long money. Like when Kevin Durant goes to Golden State or this and that and the third, or LeBron James goes where he needs to go and this and that and the third. And like, other players do whatever they got to do to get other money in other ways, or get their money on the back end of the contract, or get it in some other alternative fashion on the contract. But you want your straight up. You didn't want to leave and take a bet on yourself, getting that money some other capacity. And I'm not shitting on you for it. I think that a lot of people, there's honor in what he did. Sure, like, yeah, stay, be the best player ever in Portland. That's dope. But I'm not going to act like you wasn't rewarded handsomely. I'm not going to act like there wasn't incentives. That maybe if those incentives didn't exist, you might have been left Portland.
Portland is Dame Town.
Sure. But being that Dame was talking all that shit about everybody else who left. Who knows? But being that Dame was talking all that shit about everybody else that left. Now that it's time for Dame to leave, I'm not going to talk shit, but...
Man, it's water under the bridge at this point, man. It's water under the bridge.
Ain't gonna be water under the bridge until he leave.
He said what he said. He's trying to leave. You know what I mean? He's making very, very strong efforts to leave. He made the strongest effort you can make, in my opinion. Flat out telling every other team that's not Miami, yo, listen, don't do it. You're not gonna like it. Don't do it.
The irony of it is, like, no cap. I wouldn't be mad if the Celtics finagled Jaylen Brown out of town and got Damian, but it wouldn't. I don't think the Portland Trailblazers would go for it.
I'm not mad at that either. I will dearly, dearly miss Jaylen Brown. Dearly miss him. Like, you don't even understand. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna sting. Just like this whole us losing Marcus Smart. That stings. But we was able to get a good player out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, it's gonna sting very much so if we were to lose Jaylen Brown, but to acquire a player like Damian Lillard, and that fixes our whole not having a playmaker on the team. You pair that guy up with a player like Jason Tatum, and if we can still keep some of the other pieces that we have around, you know what I mean? Maybe Al still got another year or two in him. You know what I mean? Maybe Robert Williams gets significantly better. Maybe we can still keep Porzingis in within that whole, you know what I mean, trying to acquire Damian Lillard. You know what I'm saying? And see what we could do. But these are all what ifs. These are all what ifs. Because right now it's looking like he's very much still Miami bound or nothing. So, you know, who knows?
I mean, it would be interesting if he ended up somewhere else. I'm all about interesting. It's the off season, so shit got to get spicy.
It's been very spicy though.
Yeah, but
I think it's been a pretty spicy off season. Any off season where Dylan Brooks gets $80 million. After the exit that was made, my boy,
you seen he went
to go and finagle $80 million.
You seen he went nuts in a pro-am.
That's what's up.
Yeah, against regular guys.
Word.
He been stupid.
Payton Pritchard once scored almost 90 points against some regular guys at the pro-am, so that means nothing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, your boy Beauchamp from the young boy from the Bucks. He just had like 83 at a pro-am.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Giannis ain't never did that.
I mean, I'm sure he has. I'm undocumented.
A YMCA.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. I'm sure Giannis has put 100 on niggas' heads one time. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking around. Just straight up fucking around. Jumping from half court and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on, bro. Like, I'm not... but this off season has been quite interesting. I'm also interested in seeing how the Mavericks will replay this whole scenario that they have going on with Kyrie and Luka Doncic. The fact that they haven't really fixed anything, and the only real move that they made was re-signing Kyrie Irving. So, like, that's going to be quite interesting to see how Luka receives their efforts and his status on that team. You know what I mean? And how he feels by the end of this upcoming season. So, yeah, because, I
think he's locked in.
I think he's out of there.
Eventually.
I think. Wait, did he receive the big contract yet?
He received a large contract. I don't know.
They read him up already, right?
One he could get, but he received a large contract. Yeah.
So yeah, he might stick it out for that bag for the one time, and then dip off.
Or he might leave. Who knows? But I don't know.
Because I just see frustration all over his face. Every single.
Well, he's also like, I think he's the type of guy that like anytime I think he's frustrated is one of his defaults. Yeah, I think Luka just is very, very emotional and demonstrative on the court. Like, I think anytime he's not like beating the shit out of his opponent, he's not happy.
Okay. Well.
But the Mavericks haven't proved shit, man. The Mavericks haven't proved shit. They won that championship with Dirk Nowitzki, but it was like, other than that, like, I don't know why people like act like because they have Luka now they should be winning. Because it's like, yeah, you'd be a good team with one of the best players in the league on your team, but what does that mean otherwise? Like that, like you should just be competing for a championship just because of that? Hell no, nigga. I don't have championship infrastructure. Yeah, they don't have championship infrastructure. So it's like, what is the goal of this team? I think it's to build a really good team around Luka and see how good that can be. I don't know that like every addition has to matter in the grand scheme of things. And then you have Kyrie Irving. How fucking attached can you be to Kyrie Irving? How fucking like dependent can you be on what he's doing and how he acts and how he feels? Fuck that. You're already on shaky ground, on thin ice. That's Kyrie Irving on your team. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Strap in. We're going for a ride. It's not about stability. No promises, no guarantees. Kyrie Irving's on the team. We just want to, we just here to ride, nigga. That's it. We just here to ride this out and have a great time.
Pause.
But that's all, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I expect out of the Mavericks. I know what I expect out of Luka Doncic. Crazy, outlandish fuckery.
Mm-hmm.
The best basketball I've seen in my life.
As per usual.
All type of shit like that. Like, I expect
one of the coldest step backs known to man. Yeah.
Stop and start.
Yeah.
Game out of line. Like, I don't know. That boy's different. But a lot of niggas is different. I don't know that means you guarantee the championship. Are you Jokic-esque? Can you reach? Can you reach into the ether and grab a championship where niggas doubted you? I don't know. Everybody's not Jokic. And I think that's what we'll end on. Everybody's not Jokic. Always remember that because we still on Jokic watch heavy next season and I'm still backing my boy. I see a repeat in this future.
Yeah, you backing everything that's not the Nets.
The net, it's not our time. It's not about us. It's about teams like y'all giving $300 million away.
You dig? And we out.
It pays to be regular.